Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is all about my new sky pack called Stunning Sunsets. It's live on my website for sale. I referred to it in this last video that I did the other day. And I've also already sent out notice via my newsletter. So if you haven't subscribed yet to my newsletter, feel free to do so on my website. In this video, I'm going to walk through where to find it on my website, how to order it. I'm going to show you what the skies are, and I'm going to walk through a demo of installing a sky, or I should say replacing a sky, in both Luminar AI and in ON1 Photo Raw. Let's hit it. If you go to jimnix.com, that's my website. At the very top menu, you can see the word shop. If you click on that, that will open up my store or my shop. Stunning Sunsets is the sky pack. You can just click on that. It'll take you to the next page. And here you can read all about it. It's $20. And there are 25 skies. They'll work in any app that supports automatic sky replacement or layers. So that would be Photoshop, as well as, of course, ON1, Luminar, other apps like that. I've got some additional information here, as well as some before and after examples and a preview image of all the different skies that are included. But if you want to purchase this, and if you do, thank you very much. And some of you may already have done that, in which case, thank you as well. I do appreciate the support. If you'd like it, just click Add to Cart. You'll notice in the upper right corner, you'll have one item in your cart. When you're ready to check out, you just click that there. You go through the checkout and put in the appropriate information, purchase the pack. An email goes to you with a link. Click the link. You will download a zip file. Double click that to open it. You will have a folder of 25 skies. That's how it works. I'm going to go ahead and close my website. Thank you in advance if you're interested in that. Or if you do purchase it, as I said, thank you very much. These are the skies. There are 25 sunset skies. Now, technically, a couple of these are sunrises, but effectively, these are edges of the day kind of skies. I just like the dramatic stuff. I find that every time I'm replacing a sky, I'm putting in like a sunset anyway. So I thought if I'm going to make a pack, I'm just going to make the stuff that I would use. Nothing wrong with any other kinds of skies. They're great, and it's useful to have a lot of different skies. These are the kind of things that I use. So that's what they look like. And I thought I would run through a quick preview here of what the skies are. So that's sky number 1, sky number 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to bore you by counting down all these. Sky number 5, sky number 6. I love that. So dramatic. Sky 7. I love that kind of rotation going on. Gotta love the pink in sky 8. Sky 9, nice and soft. Sky 10. I love that warm glow. 11, 12. Sky 13, Sky 14, another nice warm one. Dramatic sky number 15. 16 is kind of cotton candy looking. 17 is another soft kind of warm pastel tones. 18's got some nice color. 19 is kind of in your face pink, which I love. Number 20, big beautiful. That one was a sunrise. I recall that specifically. Sky 21, Sky 22, Sky 23. I'll be using that one in the demo today. I love that sky. That's one of my favorites. Literally of all time. Sky 24 and Sky 25. So that's what they look like. Again, 25 high quality skies, all 300 dpi, various different pixel dimensions, and all of those are included on that preview screen, which you can either see in the video and pause if you want to take a look at it, or also it's on my website. I'm going to do a quick replacement to demonstrate how these things work in both Luminar AI and also in ON1. Luminar Neo is coming soon-ish. I suspect it's going to be fairly similar in Neo, but of course, I will have videos about it when I'm able to. Here's an image. I have already cropped it, and if you look at the before and after, I also did some accent AI because it was fairly dark, so I went from that to that. But now I want to go in and select a sky. You can click on sky selection, and by the way, if you're interested, you click on that all skies drop down, and you can say show, or click on show custom skies. It'll show you which skies you've already loaded, and if you would like to, you can drag this folder of skies into that custom folder in order to have all those skies loaded there in Luminar. I also recommend keeping a copy of them on your desktop, simply because if something happens to the app, or if you upgrade the app and it doesn't copy the skies over, you want to make sure you still have access to the skies that you purchased. In this case, I've already got the sky in here. I'm going to go ahead and grab that and add it to the photo, and it goes in automatically. Now, as you may know, with Luminar, you have quite a few options. They're the original sky replacement app, and I think still the best, but to each his own. I'm not here to debate how you do it or what app you use, but horizon position, you'll notice it reverts to the original crop dimensions. But this is basically a gradient that allows you to create a smoother transition, a gradient zone, if you will, between the existing sky and the new sky and the horizon. You can also drag the sky down. I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. You then have vertical and horizontal position, which will allow you to further refine or adjust the sky in your image, either horizontally or vertically. In this case, I think I'm going to go for something about like that. The next section is mask refinement, and this is where you get those edges to be a little bit clean. The sky went in, I think, really well, but there's some stuff around the edges that need a little cleanup. Global is, as the name implies, it impacts the entire edge, if you will, in terms of where the sky is overlapping the existing image. If you go to the right, you can see that's bleeding the sky further into the image, and in this case, if you go left, you see it's not quite enough. So I'm going to go ahead and drag it a little bit to the right because it's tightening up the edge where the sky is overlapping the landscape. Close gaps, as the name implies, helps you do exactly that. When I go to the right, you can see it's creating a little bit more gap. In this case, I'm going all the way to the left, and that really tightens up where this sky fits in along the edges. Fixed detail comes in really handy if you have hair or trees. I don't have that in this photo. I'm going to skip that. Relight strength will actually adjust the lighting and the color to better align the foreground that you had with the sky that you've added. So adjust that season to taste, and you can adjust saturation, and if there's a human, you can adjust their lighting as well. For this example, I'll pull relight strength up over to the right to increase it. You will notice if you look at the sky, it's cooler on the left and warmer on the right. And it's actually picking that up in the landscape where it's a bit warmer over here on the right-hand side and a bit cooler on the left-hand side. I think that's pretty intelligent stuff. I probably wouldn't go quite that far, but maybe something about like that I think looks nice. Reflection is built in and is automatic, assuming there's a reflection in your photo. There's not. In this case, I'm going to leave that alone. And sky adjustments, I won't do anything here, but you can defocus, add grain, add haze, and adjust the temperature and the brightness of the sky. So this one has gone in quite easily and I think effectively. That's the sky beforehand, and that's the replaced sky with some scene relighting to make it look like it belongs in that scene. And that's one of the key things about getting your masks and about getting your lighting and colors correctly. You want it to look like the foreground and the new sky go together. So just keep that in mind. I think in this case, it looks pretty good. I'd probably refine it a little bit, but this is just a high level tutorial video about how the app works with sky replacement. One other key tip to keep in mind is what direction is the light coming from in the sky that you've added versus where is the light falling on the foreground that you already have in the photo. So for example, you can see there's brighter light in this right-hand corner, and it's thus a little bit brighter over here on the right-hand side. Just keep that in mind. If for some reason this was taken under different lighting conditions, you might have a brighter section over here on the left, but if the sky was bright on the right-hand side, it might look a little weird, in which case you might want to flip the sky, which you can do. Notice that the scene relighting automatically adjusts in Luminar, which I think is fantastic. I'm going to flip it back. That's just something to think about and to keep in mind when doing a replacement. And now I'm going to go into ON1, which also has SkySwap AI, which I think is a great addition to an already great app as well. In this case, also a fairly dark image. I'm going to click AI Auto just to brighten it so you can see the scene better. And I'm going to go ahead and click on sky, and it will automatically mask that sky. You can see the mask up here. And if you want to view the mask, you can see that. And I'm not going to, but you can go in and adjust the feathering and the levels and things like that in order to refine the mask. You can also import your own skies and create your own category for them. I have actually already done that. I've got stunning sunsets added right here, and I'm going to go ahead and get sky 23, which is the one I used in the last photo example. And there it is, once again, added automatically into the photo, and I think looks really good. Once again, you can do a flip if you need to. I'm not going to do that in this case. You can shift the horizon. You can do that up or down, as you can see here. I'm going to go ahead and leave it where it was. You can adjust opacity. You can fade the edge. So if I drag that to the right, you can see how it's kind of fading. If I go to the left, how it's kind of pulling it further into the photo. I'm going to go ahead and put fade back where it was. But shift edge also works well to help you refine that mask. In that, in my opinion, if you go kind of left, it's kind of tightening up the edge there. Whereas if you go to the right, it's kind of a little bit more fading around the edges. So I'm going to go a little bit tighter, and I actually see that I need to pull this down a little bit because I didn't quite have the sky all the way down here in this section. Now again, you may want to refine the mask, and in fact, the masking tools in ON1 are fantastic, and you can do that quite easily. But once you have your sky in place, it's time to move on to the appearance. So you've got warmth, brightness, adding haze, adding blur, and even blurring the angle. And if you want to refine the sky and how it looks in your image, you can do those sort of things. And of course, you have this foreground lighting section. You can go in, you can take this eyedropper and say that you want the foreground to be a little bit more of that kind of shade. You can see that that's been adjusted, or maybe you want a little bit more of that brown or kind of dark. Bottom line is you can come in and adjust that. You could even take a color somewhat from the sky and make a little bit warmer foreground, which actually kind of works here. I would come in and make some further adjustments, but you can also use these sliders to adjust the amount as well as the distance into the photo that is going. You can see to the left, it's not very far into the foreground, and to the right, it's coming further or closer to us. I think that looks pretty good. And of course, there's also automatic reflection in ON1, not necessary in this case. That's how it works in ON1. Now, of course, Photoshop also has an automatic sky replacement. I'm not really a Photoshop person. If I were ever to do a sky replacement, I would primarily do it in Luminar, and secondarily, I would do it in ON1. But regardless of your taste in apps, you've got at least 3 out there today that have automatic sky replacement. I suspect there'll be more in the future. But as long as it has layers and masking, like Photoshop or probably Affinity and other apps like that, you could do a sky replacement. And that's it, my friends. Just wanted to walk through the announcement of my Sky Pack, show you what skies are included, show you how to purchase if you're interested, and also show you how it works both in Luminar and in ON1, which are the 2 apps that I would use primarily for doing this kind of work. And that's it, my friends. I've been working on this for a long time. I hope you enjoy it. If you do purchase it, and if you don't, that's cool too. Come back anytime you want. I'm going to be sitting here making videos about things like this because it's fun and I just like to do it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, adios.